welcome to Hush. You'll probably hear the TV in the background because it is hot outside and the air conditioning's on, and so I'm letting my kids watch some TV. It's right before bed and I needed to record. I don't think it's a coincidence that I recorded a video yesterday about talking about abuse and how people don't want to hear it. But I didn't really get into it. I didn't get into the nitty-gritty. I didn't get into the details. I didn't get into too many details about me and what's happening with me. I share a little bit here and there, but I'm not sharing out of anger or bitterness or the need to be the victim, right? It's like I'm saying, hey, I have a part to play in this. you know? I chose to have my children. I chose to have them with the man I did, right? My children are the victims right now. They didn't choose. They didn't choose to be born. They didn't choose to be born by me and their dad. And they didn't choose for any of this. So anyways, I put a couple posts up, and my stepsister decided to write some vicious comments on there at midnight last night and then send me private messages on Messenger telling me what a horrific mom I am and how dare I blast my son and tell his story to everybody. It's like, I don't know my son's story. That'll be for him to tell or not tell someday, but he's a part of my story and he's a part of what I'm going through. And I'm his mom and I love him and I miss him and I'm mourning for all that he's losing. And if I really wanted to be a victim and I really was bitter and just wanted to play some pity party and get attention, I would have put the camera on yesterday when I was sitting in my kitchen, crying, just tears streaming down my face, mourning this loss of my 11-year-old son and all that he's lost, all that he's missing out on, all the fun things I'm doing with his brothers this summer, all the life that we're living and the bonds that we're rebuilding after everything that happened last year. And he's missing all of it, and he's stuck in that house with that man. And sure, he can be okay sometimes, but he hasn't changed. He still needs supply, right? So anyways, I just don't think it's a coincidence that she messaged me last night and she didn't hear the video because it's not even coming out until tomorrow on my YouTube channel, right? So it's so interesting how those things happen. I don't believe in coincidences. I do believe that things happen for a reason. I do think they're more synchronicities than coincidences. That's just my opinion. I'm open to others having different opinions, and that's okay, but that's how I see the world, and that's how it works for me. And it's bettered my life to see the world that way. So I'm sticking with it for now until it stops working for me. It's so interesting. The two women who have utterly rejected me to the point of supporting my ex-husband through all of this are the two women that reached out to me when I was doing Sipping Reality and said, you need to stop that podcast. You're a mom. How dare you talk about sex? And it's like, I really don't think there's anything wrong with trying to strip shame off of sex. I was in a place in my life where I was meeting a lot of people that had a lot of different kinks and fetishes, and they were really struggling with themselves, and they were struggling to accept and embrace them. I was meeting a lot of couples where one partner was even going to the extent of cheating because they had a certain kink and they were either too embarrassed to tell their partner, or they did tell their partner and their partner shamed them. And so they found somebody on the side that was willing to indulge them. Now, does this make it okay to cheat? No, absolutely not. I'm so against it. It is not my thing. It's not for me. I will not engage with somebody who's in a relationship. I just don't participate in that. That's just my personal choice and, again, opinion. That it's not good. So where was I going with all this? It's interesting. So yeah, the two women that reached out to me and were just absolutely horrified. Now I know they've told other people. I know other people are horrified, but it's like, it's all good. in almost every single one of those sipping reality episodes, I was like, I am not into casual sex. I don't like to engage in that stuff. Sure, I like to have fun. There was a time where there was, some stuff going on, and I'm like, I just didn't feel like engaging. It wasn't right for me, so I sat and watched instead. It's like, if I had engaged and if I was into more casual and non-monogamous, so what? At least I have a wow, that did not come out of my mouth right. At least I have a healthy sex life, and sex equals health. It is part of our natural human need. We survive off of food, and our species survives off of having sex. So we have an innate sex drive. And to deny that innate sex drive creates illness within us. And that doesn't mean that you have to be non-monogamous and you have to go have casual sex. But if you do, and you're being safe, and you're in a community with consent and boundaries and security and other people who are gonna look out for you, and there's health and safety created around that, then why is it wrong? And this video was not supposed to be about sex at all, but somehow it spiraled into that. It's just important that I defend it. I work with one of the top behavioral psychologists that's left in the world. He studied under Harlow and worked with Skinner when he was a young guy. And he taught sexual health for over a decade. And he will tell you, it is healthy. It is good. There's nothing wrong with being promiscuous. And that doesn't mean you need to be, again. But there's health in having a healthy sex life. And so for me to have a heart to strip shame away from that, I don't see as having any bearing on me as a mother at all. And if you do, that's okay. That's your opinion and you're entitled to it. I just don't agree. But I find it so interesting that the ones that are trying to, shh, Jill, be quiet, don't speak. Oh, my stepsister went as far as to say that I was an embarrassment, and she was embarrassed to even read my posts. It's like, come on, you're in your 50s, you don't have children, you haven't been able to hold a long-term relationship since your 20s. What part of your life do you think you've come close to walking in my shoes and have any idea what I've been through? Because despite the stepsister title, she's never been in my life. My parents got married when I was 6 and she was 17. We never knew each other. And she's never asked about my life. She doesn't ask what's going on. She doesn't care. She doesn't want to know. She just wants to see me as bad so she can see herself as good. And hey, if you need me to be the villain in your story, then go ahead and use me, because I really don't care. Because I'm not sitting here bitter. I'm not sitting here for any of that. But she needs to believe I am, then that's okay. I'll be your villain if that helps you sleep at night. But you know what? I'm also going to sleep well tonight. And I'm not going to stop calling out the people who are doing wickedness in my children's life and mine. And I'm just not. I spent too many years silent. And the whole thing is I was so silent when I left him.
Mom?
I'm busy. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute.
Okay.
This is important. So when I left quietly. I filed for divorce and I was silent. I didn't blast my ex-husband. I didn't say, whoa, everybody hear what he did to me. I didn't say anything to anyone. The first time that I brought up all the abuse throughout my marriage was when he filed false allegations, took my children overnight without me even saying bye to them because they were in his care when it all went down. So they didn't even know they weren't going to see me again, nor me them. And I had DCF sitting at my kitchen table questioning me about my parenting when I was the sole parent for these children their entire lives since they were in my belly. He didn't even know who their teachers were. He didn't know what schools they went to. He didn't know anything about these children. He didn't have contacts for their coaches. Nothing. Because I was their sole parent. Those are my boys. I raised them. And I sat there and started to say, hey, wait up. This is what this man's done. Like, these aren't real allegations. Like, this, I divorced him. I sought DV help when I sought to divorce him. Like, what is going on here? And the DCF worker turned to me and she said, wow, you sound bitter. And I said, excuse me? I'm not the one accusing him of anything. I am needing to defend myself now and to reveal who he is, because you're sitting here trying to claim that I'm abusing and neglecting my children, which is a wild allegation, because anyone that knows me knows that I'm a good, loving, active mother. It's actually the most compliments that I've ever gotten has been on my parenting and me as a mom. You know, even my own mom, she hasn't said many times in my life that she's proud of me. But when she sees me and witnesses me as a mother, it's the one thing that she's always stopped and said, wow, Jill, you're a really good mom. And this was all before he took them. This isn't after. This isn't with all the growth I've had, because I've become an even better mother through all of this, right? And it's just so amazing that when I finally speak out, because I have to, because he's forced me to, through false allegations and taking my children, and now I'm speaking out to the world. And he's saying that he's filing a defamation suit. It's like, if it's true, it's not defamation, sweetie. Like, sorry. The truth can be told, and it's my story to tell. And that's okay. And I'm ashamed of the man I chose to be the father of my children and to marry, but I'm not ashamed of who I am today. Not in the least. And I have no shame in revealing those who have harmed me and my children, which is why I mentioned my stepsister. Nope, no shame anymore. So anyways, yeah, I left and I was quiet for 2 years. I guess it was two full years. I didn't tell anyone anything negative about him. I just went about my life. I left in peace to try and find peace, to try and heal, to be a better mom again for my kids, because I had lost so much of who I was through it all. And I had gotten so sick from all the stress. So anyways, I guess that I was supposed to talk a little bit more about this. So here I am, and so I did. I apologize for the interruptions and the word babble. I'm not editing this video. I just want to be raw and real. This is my life. My kids are here. Again, sorry if the TV is heard in the background. I'm not here for good sound and good looks. And, you know, I do hope to have better sounds and to not be doing videos in my jammies, maybe someday. But for now, I'm working around what I've got with me and my iPhone and just putting myself out there, because that's what I need to do. So until next time.